I did a movie called A Takeover a while ago. Now it's a movie called The Takedown. Two totally different movies. So here we go. By the name of O, you know what I'm saying? He's a police officer. Actually works for like criminal justice or something. Criminal division, something like that. So he's basically trying to find this dude named Diaz. They gotta go through this underground tunnel and whatnot. It ends up being a setup for people fighting in cage matches. Now they're looking for Diaz, they can't find him, and then they see this guy in the ring and then they announce the name, Diaz. Looks totally different than the picture that he has that was like 3 years old. So he gets in the ring and tries to arrest him, but bottom line is, Diaz starts fighting, and then they get in a cage match. Diaz was whipping his ass all over the damn cage. Till the SWAT team finally showed up and they arrested him. But because a whole bunch of chaos and mayhem, their deputy or officer, commanding officer, they actually want to make him the head of the police department. Now, why? Because everybody recorded and they got over like 500,000 YouTube likes and followers and subscriptions and shit. So now they want to make a commercial of him styling and profiling, you know what I'm saying, making him the head of security and all this other bullshit. Then we got this guy by the name of Francois. He's in the police department of a totally different division. So we're trying to get an idea of what he's about. I mean, he's been incompetent in the last couple of days, whatever like that, but he ends up smashing his therapist. He be out here clapping cheeks. So he goes back in the office and goes over towards his crew. Now his crew pretty don't fuck with him like that. Why? Because he's arrogant, egotistical, a narcissist, all that shit. But when it comes down to it, he really knows how to get the job done. So apparently he's got to go over to the train because his parents are coming to town or whatever like that. This train, though, just happens to have a body hanging out of it. I'm like, what the fuck? So while Francois is getting the information on all this, all of a sudden O comes over there. Apparently they assigned him to this shit too. So now Francois and O meet up with each other again, and I say again because at one point in time they used to be partners. So now they got no choice but to work together on the case, but this time it's under the Criminal Investigations Bureau, so basically O is in charge of the situation. So Francois is technically gotta listen to him. So the thing is, the body belonged to this dude by the name of Kevin. The crazy thing is, when they found his body, it was chopped in half. The other half was completely missing, so you're thinking to yourself, how the fuck did this take place? So mixed around with this case and investigation, they also get somebody else to help him, this lady by the name of Alice. O's kind of feeling Alice, you know what I'm saying? Francois hating on him a little bit because, you know, he gets all the chicks, right? So we found out about O's home life. Like, he's got a son named Eustace. As soon as he comes in the house, he smashes some random ass chick and she ends up dipping out. He's like, all right. And then his son comes downstairs. He's just like, yo, you brought some cereal? He's like, the fuck? So back to the case. They found this area where they think this guy got killed at. They found blood by this bridge, and they found out Kevin was on a bike. So they're trying to put this scenario together. They're thinking that Kevin ran away with his bike, whatever like that, and he got shot in his leg because they happened to find the second half of the body, and it had a hole in his leg. So they're coming to the conclusion that he got shot by somebody, and then the bike swerved off of the bridge. The cable probably cut him in half right before he's about to land on a fucking train coming. Even if they came to that conclusion, how the fuck did the body get in the middle of the damn train? I'm talking about actually on the train where it's hanging off the door. I'm like, how? So anyway, they end up getting information going to Kevin's mom's house, to tell the bad news. She tours him throughout the house, and then we found out Kevin's got some type of like meth lab and shit. All types of drugs and whatnot hanging around. And they find out about some lady named Jessica. She works at the strip club, so that's where they're about to go. They go there, Francois talks to Jessica. O was talking to a security guard by the name of Carl. Carl's on some bullshit bylines, they get to beefing. Carl was whipping O's ass. Francois was getting all this information from Jessica, who didn't even know that Kevin was dead. And she heard about some group called the Sons of Clovis, basically the SC. So back to the beef. Carl's laying a smackdown on O. O's trying to fight back. Francois goes to the car so he come back and get a freaking taser. He tased the shit out of him twice. It didn't really do nothing. And after a while, Carl just fell over and he ended up dying. I'm like, wow. So we found out Carl apparently has some of these drugs in his system too. That's the reason why he wasn't getting tired during the fight and he was beating up on O. And that's the reason why he was able to withstand 2 taser shots at that time. So they found out when they checked him and he's dead, they make sure they looked at his body. He had some tattoos on his neck. Tattoo said SC. We're like, okay. So before they go searching for that, they go to this like restaurant or whatever like that because Alice takes him to get something to eat, whatever like that. It's a real nice spot. And all of a sudden the mayor, Bruner, comes in and, you know what I'm saying, investigates the restaurant. So byline, Alice is like, yeah, like he pretty much owns the restaurant and he comes in every now and then. They talk to him, have casual conversation. He's like, yeah, drinks on me, don't even worry about it. Afterwards, Alice and O getting closer, kind of, I guess. Francois not even hating no more. He's just like, man, I don't even like her. So then we get this scene, they get some extra information, and they end up finding out exactly where the SC is. It's like some type of gym. So they're going to the gym, right? Because the thing is, they figured either Carl or somebody in the SC ended up shooting Kevin for knowing too much information about whatever's supposed to be going down. But the problem is, they ain't find a murder weapon. So they basically go in the gym, O's holding all these niggas off while Francois goes into the locker room, breaks open one of the locks, opens it up, and finds the murder weapon. The problem is they just happen to put it in any random locker, so you think it to yourselves, anybody could have did it from the SC. Bottom line, they're going to match the fingerprints up. Now the problem is, they're assuming the fingerprints match up to Carl, and we know Carl's dead. So the police got no choice but let the rest of the SC niggas go. Captain Merlin wants to keep digging in the investigation. They're like, all right, bet. So then they do some more digging around this area, right? They end up going to this cabin. It turns out the mayor and Captain Merlot are having this meeting. So you think to yourself, why are the two of them meeting up together? They ain't got no evidence and nothing. They can't prove nothing. So basically, they gotta leave. But as they're leaving, somebody's following them. They in a black truck and they're basically trying to run them off the road. We're like, what the heck is this? So at this time, the mayor had already dipped off. He's probably going somewhere else. I guess it was bodyguards in the truck trying to chase him, whatever like that. So problem is, they end up hitting a rock and then they flip over the other side. Done deal, dead as shit. Oh, ends up calling a forensic specialist or whatever like that, try to get some more information. He ends up calling this chick by the name of Yasmin. Yasmin at one point in time was supposed to be O's girl, but then Francois snatched her up or something like that. I can't remember this whole situation. I think the only reason Francois did it was because back in the day, O had messed up his transcript or something like that. I don't know, it's a back and forth tip attack for some ridiculous shit. Anyway, they get some more information about something going on in that house. So basically, they end up going back to the house. Now, it's kids and this chick inside the house or whatever like that. It's a dog outside. Basically, they ain't got no warrant. So basically, they're going in the house and sneaking around the house to try to find anything. They're going through all these rooms. They can't find nothing. Then they think to themselves like, wait a minute. When the mayor was telling us to get out, he was poking them with a pool stick. So he's like, there's got to be a pool room in here somewhere, right? He's like, yeah, good thinking. So they end up finally finding the pool room. And guess what? They got these elaborate plans laid out with like all these people in these fast shit groups. They got all these like random elaborate places they're supposed to be setting up with the mayor and the captain and a bunch of other people, the SC. So what exactly is their plan though? So they end up going back to like Alice's house so they could come up with some type of strategy or something. And they end up going to sleep. O wakes up late. Francois talking to Alice. She about to take a shower and then she kisses O on the cheek. O sliced up. But according to their coordinates, they end up finding a spot that the mayor and the SC people are hosting these meetings. But he thinks it's going to get dangerous, so he wants Alice to stay here while she's in the shower, and then O and Francis go there by themselves and handle the business. So they get to the spot, there's a bunch of trucks out there, they got guns in them and everything like that. Apparently everybody's inside the building. So they go in all these crazy motherfuckers in there, led by the mayor and the captain, and this random ass chick that just starts singing. Some old lady just be losing her damn mind. So O's going to try to figure out some type of plan, and Francis is going to cause a distraction. Why? Because O's black, he's not going to be able to get away with this shit. Francois at least looks like them so he can distract them long enough to get something going. So he pulls this cable out the wall, it's got this button on it. He's making sure it's attached to the Steve so he can act like he's got a detonator, you know what I'm saying? Because apparently the SC's plan is to blow shit up. And they figured it out by now, so okay. So while he goes in there out the blue to distract them, O is going around each of the trucks picking up all the guns and discarding them and throwing them in the water, you know what I'm saying, flattening tires. Because he needs a signal for the police to come, that way they can pick them all up there at the same time. Problem is, they don't get no signal out there like that. So after O does all this, Alice finally shows up. But all of a sudden, she gets the drop on O. Turns out, she's actually with the fascist groups. Alice is working with the mayor. What the heck is wrong with you? The twist. But then O gets the drop on her. It knocks the gun out of her hand and they start the fight in the beef. Now, Francois is like damn near fucked up because he don't even realize what's going on outside. Because they found out the detonator was bullshit. He pulls out a gun. Somebody chops the gun out of his hand. Now he's about to be done deal. But O ends up subduing Alice and time to their daggone car. Think it's his big ass truck and rams that bitch right in time because Francois is about to be done deal. They ride around picking him up, running over niggas. Captain gets done deal. The leader of the SC gets done deal. Alice ties herself. The mayor ends up getting away. They both ride out. O and Francis on the chase. So instead of going one way, they cut to another way. And they get to this building across the bridge, right? And he's trying to set off the detonator through his phone, but the thing is he ain't got no signal for it and it's not complete and it's not detonating. Then O and Francis come through and ram that bitch. Alice is pretty much in the car, stuck, done deal. I mean, like, she ain't dead, but she's just stuck there. Mayor Bruner gets out the car, and he's going towards this building on stilts. This building is like an orphanage or whatever. And at the bottom of the stilts, he has this detonator already set up. It's for 3 minutes, right? At the 3 minutes, it's going to blow up the whole orphanage. So at that point, these guys basically leave him so they could go into the orphanage and try to get all the kids out because they don't know how to stop the detonator. While that's going around, this motherfucking mayor is still standing around the damn building. I'm like, nigga, why don't you just take that car while you was doing that and get the fuck out of there? He's literally standing around the damn building. What's it gonna do? When it blows up, you just gonna stand there and get killed by it? Like, fucking retard? Then Owen Francis at the top of the building. There was no way they was gonna be able to get out. They only had like 20 seconds left because they got everybody else out. And then like part of it blew up. This fucking mayor almost got hit with a piece of the building that fell. I don't know how he survived that shit. Fucking ridiculous. And then Owen Francis survived because it didn't completely fall out of the building. It was just like, what the fuck? Police finally came and put Alice in a stretcher, and then they locked up the mayor. After all that, O didn't want to be in the commercial or whatever like that. Instead, he gave it to Francis so he could style and profile in the commercial that you're trying to build above him or whatever like that. So it's like, what? And then they had another mission to do with like the Eiffel Tower or something like that. And then that's the end of the movie. So I thought to myself, this mayor has to be fucking retarded. You mean to tell me they killed this guy Kevin for knowing too much about these drugs and making these super soldiers or whatnot? These big elaborate plans all to blow up a fucking orphanage out in the middle of nowhere? Let's just say hypothetically he had detonators on multiple different spots, right? And because you don't have any signal out there like that, which you already know to begin with, they weren't able to get all the detonators off, whatever detonators that need to be detonated. The only way you could get off is blowing up a fucking orphanage. You're a goddamn mayor. You give up your mayor citizenship to do this? This is the most clownish villainship I've ever seen in my entire life. Did the mayor not have anything, spectacular to do anything powerful with his position? I mean, you're just doing this. They're supposed to be fascists. They hate every other race, blah, blah, blah. But blowing up orphanages, that's the highest of your, ability to do, and out in the middle of fucking nowhere too? I'm done. The Takedown on Netflix. Check it out.